Okay, so welcome, Facebook friends, Facebook family, Facebook community. I trust everyone's having an amazing day. If you're joining me for the very first time on one of my Facebook Lives, do me a huge favor. In the comment, just type the word one in the comment so we can acknowledge you for being here. And perhaps maybe you can even, if you're brave enough, share with us your name and where you're from. Okay, so I'm going to jump right into this. I have a really good friend. He is a real estate agent, one of the top producers with Century 21 Innovative. Now, just to give you a little bit of perspective, Century 21 is a pretty big company, and I'm sure most of you will agree with that. They are not only just a brokerage within Century 21, but they're the top 15 in the world and top 10 in Canada. So for Ahsan to hit top 10 in his company, that is no small feat. I know he's pretty humble about his success. Today, we're going to have him share with you, is this still a good time to buy real estate? Is it a good time to invest in real estate? And perhaps maybe we'll pick his brains even, see if he's got a crystal ball and share with us what are some really good cities to buy in Canada. So welcome, Ahsan.
Hi, Gordon. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. Well, I know you have a very busy schedule, so thank you for taking the time. Ahsan, you are amazing. You're brilliant. You're a businessman. You're a realtor. You're a family man, which is amazing. And you love basketball, so obviously you have me at basketball. So you have me at hello, you have me at basketball. So share, maybe for some of my friends who are watching, in 1 or 2 minutes, maybe share with the folks a little bit about who is Ahsan.
Yeah, sure. Well, thanks for having me on, Gordon. It's a pleasure being on with you again. As Gordon mentioned, my name is Ahsan Raza. I work with Century 21 Innovative Realty. Wow, been there for about almost 7 years now. So time flies.
7 years.
Yeah. And throughout that time, a lot of ups and downs. But at the end of the day, through the leadership of our brokerage with Sabir, Ibrahim, Samim, and all those guys over there, they were able to help push me, to reach new goals and new heights every single year. So, yeah, I love sports. Obviously, with the pandemic, we're not able to do a lot of the activities that I normally do with my brothers and my family, especially playing basketball. But other than that, it's this time has been an opportunity for us to get closer to our families,
Yes.
cherish those that we love, and never take things for granted, right? So I just say, as long as you have a home, um, you know, what can you ask for, right? So a lot of people don't have that right now, and we, at least we're in our homes, thankfully.
We take for granted what we have, don't we?
Yeah.
My kids are grown now, they're at the house, and so they have my dad shirt on, as you can see. Yay. But you're right, we often take things for granted.
Right.
So, real estate, let's jump right into it for a minute.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's still, some people think prices have already peaked, it's too expensive. Like, why do you think it's still a good time to buy real estate in GTA?
Yeah, I think, if you're living in a city like Toronto, obviously, we can't hide the fact that prices are expensive, and a lot of buyers aren't able to get into the market.
Yes.
But I do feel that in the next 5 to 10 years, from my research and from my understanding, is that, believe it or not, the prices are probably going to increase even more. So I think, if you're going to wait to buy or wait for a correction, yes, it may happen over time, but you don't know when it's going to happen. And if you're going to wait another 5 years and the prices go up even more, then you're going to look back and say, I wish I had bought 5 years ago. I wish I had bought 7 years ago. So I always say that, look, if you see an opportunity in front of you, right, don't look at the market. If you see an opportunity, go for it, try your best, secure that property. And if you have a long-term perspective, you will build equity eventually, and it's all about the long game. Whether you're buying it for, your primary residence or investment properties, which we'll talk about next. But I think there are still some great opportunities within the GTA and even a little bit outside of the GTA as well.
Okay, so you're saying buy long term.
Right.
Why long term?
I think when you have a long-term perspective, you have a better chance of building wealth and building generational wealth, right? At the end of the day, it's all about, you know, what I can do to increase my revenues, increase my income so that we can survive in an expensive city like this. And,
Yes.
you know, nowadays, you know, the one income is not going to cut it for a lot of people. And so you have to start thinking of creative and innovative ways on how you can build wealth. And look, I'm in the real estate industry. Obviously, I have a bias towards real estate, but you know what I would like to share with you are my personal success stories. You know, and if you can hear my own story, what I did, maybe that'll, you know, give you some food for thought and inspire the people that are listening. That, you know, if I could do it, what I did in my investments, how I use that to, you know, recycle into my own primary residence. You know, it's, and I tell people the same thing, that, you know, it is about the long game. If you invest now, you buy and hold, whether it's 5, 10, 15 years, you know, history shows that real estate always goes up and it will continue to go up.
It's incredible. You know, Ahsan, my dad bought his first house in the 70s.
Right.
Here in Toronto.
Yeah.
For $16,000.
I wish
I think that same house is sold for about $1 million.
Yeah, yeah, and same. My father bought the home that, you know, he has in Markham right now for about $250,000, and today that property is worth almost 1.2. Right? So it's crazy, and it's going to continue to go up. And we see there's a limited supply, there's a high demand. You know, population continues to grow in this city, which is a main driving factor. Interest rates are record low, so that's adding pressure to the market.
Wow. I heard somebody got a 1.8% mortgage. That's not true.
Yeah, I've heard somebody get even lower. One of my clients got a 1.35% mortgage.
Purchases?
Yeah.
What about on a refinance? What's the best you think somebody could get?
Refinance varies. I think, you know, you're looking at about something in the range as well, between 1.5 and 2.5, depending on your history. But you can get a pretty favorable rate in refinance as well.
That's incredible. Now, before we get into investing, buying real estate as an investment, because, you know, you and I both have parents who have bought,
right,
and are become millionaires through real estate, not because they were smart investors, but they bought a home just for necessity, right?
Yeah.
You know, you have such an incredible success. You're humble about it. You're top 10 in the company. Your clients and making money investing. You must have had a strong real estate background.
Sorry, Graham, I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing you.
I think you must, with the success you have, you must have had a strong real estate background. Can you hear me?
A little bit. Let's have my headphones. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little better. Sorry about that.
Ahsan, with the success that you have in real estate, you must have had a strong real estate background before you got started.
Hello.
Okay, let me just.
Some technical difficulties. Sorry about that.
Yeah. How about this is better?
Yeah, a little bit. Let's try it again.
So, Ahsan, before real estate, what was your background?
Before real estate, I was in the accounting industry. So I was working for an accounting firm for about 1.5 years. I think that was never my cup of tea, to work 9 to 5. And I've always wanted to do something more on my own, become an entrepreneur. And my father actually gave me the idea of going into the real estate industry. And that's how I started.
Wow. That's amazing. All right. So why invest? Why buy real estate as an investment?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, you know, basically, you know, investing in real estate, my own personal experience has helped me build equity throughout the years. What my focus right now is to help the younger generation get into real estate investing, because I think there are a lot of opportunities out there. A lot of times when we think of investments, we think of, okay, you know what, we live in the GTA. You know, I need to buy in the GTA. That's not necessarily true. You don't have to buy in the Greater Toronto area, because, you know, unfortunately, a lot of us are priced out of that neighborhood. So what is the next best thing? Where can we look at those opportunities that are up and coming? And there are several cities on the outskirts of the Greater Toronto area. So you have Kingston, Ontario, you have Guelph, you have Shelburne, you have you name it. You have Peterborough, you have Windsor, you have Barrie, you have Orillia. You know, I love to drive, so I've been to all these places, and a lot of people ask me, you know, why do you go out of your region to look for properties? I say I go out because I like to invest in those areas. I like to learn about different cities. I like to learn about the next best thing, and I'm always looking for the next best opportunity. And so, for example, if you're a young real estate investor and you have about 50 or 70 grand and you can't buy anything here in the GTA, did you know that you can actually go to a place like Orillia, pick up a property for about 450, 500,000, rent it out within 5 or 7 days with a good solid tenant, and that appreciation will be about 8 to 12% year over year, right? Some of the objections we get obviously is that, oh, how am I going to manage a property that's so far away? How am I going to manage the tenant? That's an objection that can be easily handled. My partners and I, we have a property in Kingston, Ontario, which is 3 hours away from where I live. But we were able to manage it very easily. And in the event that we cannot manage it, we can always hire a property management company, pay $100 a month, $200 a month, and not have to worry about anything. So those are things that can be easily handled. And I think there's some incredible opportunities out there right now for people that are looking to invest in real estate.
That's incredible. So let's say somebody buys an investment property and they're looking for a property manager. Do they have to look for that on their own, or is that something you need as well?
Sorry, Gordon, maybe I should switch over to my laptop because I'm having some trouble hearing you.
Cutting out?
Can we do that?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, I'll join you back. Sorry about that.
We'll finish here. We're just waiting for Ahsan to come back, you guys. Untold stories, what an amazing story from an individual who started in real estate around 7 years ago. And already today, he that he's already in the top 10 in his company. And not only is he helping individuals buy real estate for their own use, right? Think about this one. People need a place to live in. And we can always live in a tent, I guess, but nice and have a house to live in. Own it, rent it. Either way, real estate is something that we need, and Ahsan's been helping his clients find homes to buy and live in, as well as helping his clients who are interested in creating wealth through real estate as a real estate investment as well. Let me know in the comments. Are you interested in investing in real estate? Are you already invested in real estate? Perhaps in the comment you can share with us. What do you invest in? Is it residential? Is it condominiums? What sort of investment? Hey, Ahsan, welcome back.
Hi, Gordon. I'm so sorry. Zoom works every single day, but today for some reason I'm having difficulties.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I know you're a huge fan of going. He always talks about temporary things, right?
Yeah.
So let's pick up from where we left off. We talked about if you have 60 or 70 grand, perhaps buy in the outskirts.
Right. Right.
You talked about really having a property manager.
Right.
How do you find a good property manager?
How do you find a good property manager?
Yeah.
Well, you just have to come to me. I've built a ton of relationships with people in these areas because I've helped several people buy in these neighborhoods, and we've built connections with property management companies that are tried and tested, that are reliable. Whether it's Kingston, whether it's in the east side, west side, you name it. Like I've got tons of connections. So let me do the hard work and find the property for you guys and connect you with the property manager. We have a full team on my team, and that's the easy part. That's very easy.
That is so good to know. So you're not one of the agents that's just going to sell me a property, tell me how amazing it's going to be and to walk away.
Right. Could you repeat that question, please?
I was saying you're not like an agent who's going to tell them just go buy something.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You're
Yeah.
just going to walk away because you made a commission, right?
Right. No, it's honestly it's the full the full service, right?
Yes.
From start to finish, even after the sale is done. I like to stay in touch with the clients. I like to, give them an update on the property, on the market in that area, and that kind of builds, a good, healthy relationship as well. I think it's important to be involved throughout the process because their success is my success at the end of the day, right?
That's amazing. Right. Well, Ahsan, thank you so much for joining us on Mango Success Stories. You have an amazing story of going from an accounting background to, in such a short period of time, being one of the top producers, not only in the country, but in the industry. Would you mind if I put you on the hot seat for a minute?
Sure, yeah.
I have tomorrow, Mango Success, we have a 1-hour webinar where I'm teaching folks how to start a podcast.
Right.
What has been your experience?
My own experience on the podcast? Well, I think we go way back a few years ago when you had introduced me to this whole concept of podcasting and really getting out there on social media. I want to say, and from the bottom of my heart, Gordon's been instrumental in me being more out there on the social media presence. Just because of you, I had started my podcast. Because of you, I actually started my videos, which you see today. And I've been through a bunch of your seminars, and they've been crucial in helping me. And it's funny. The minute I started to post on social media, when I started my podcasting, when I started my videos, my business jumped. It significantly jumped, and I'm not lying. This is a significant increase, and I'm surprised why more and more people don't use social media. It's helped me tremendously, along with the prospecting that I do on normal days. But social media is huge. I do want to mention that even though I've been doing podcasting and videos for some time now, I'm also going to be joining your seminar tomorrow because I want to improve my skills and get a refreshment as well. So I would highly recommend anybody to join and benefit from this program and webinar you're doing tomorrow.
That's amazing, Ahsan, and congratulations on your success. And tomorrow there will be a couple of new things that we've added that was a surprise. And one of the things I can share with the folks who are there is, remember the first time you did Facebook Live?
Yep.
Were you nervous at all? Were you always good?
Yeah, I always get butterflies.
Yeah. So I'm going to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, see, yeah, butterflies are always there, but it's a good thing. So,
yeah. So
you get more comfortable. Yeah.
I usually do to help them become more confident and comfortable.
Sure.
It didn't happen when you and I were talking about podcasting a few years ago, but
right.
There's actually an app you can now download on your phone.
Okay.
Record, submit, and it's syndicated to iTunes, Stitcher Radio.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm also sharing this with a teleprompter. I'll show them a free teleprompter that they can actually download.
Okay.
It works on your smartphone, works on your iPad, your computer. So you literally put your script in the app.
Yeah. Press
record on the video.
Yeah.
And literally have the message scroll up as you're talking into the video.
Wow. Okay.
Well, that would be an app that I'll let the folks know about. Listen, before you go, I want to do something fun. That's okay.
Sure.
Any predictions for the Raptors this year?
Oh, it's a good question. I think they're going to make the playoffs. They have been playing better the last few games. They've won 3 in a row. They had a good game against Dallas. They stopped Luka, right? I know they've had a poor start. I think they make the playoffs, maybe it's a 6th or 7th seed this year.
Yes.
I still think they're going to make the. I'm biased here. I think they're going to make the Eastern Conference Finals, semifinals.
Well,
I'd say. Yeah.
I was pretty disappointed with the 2 Sanders.
Yeah.
I thought they would have done it.
Yeah, it's progress. I mean, they've missed obviously they don't have Serge Ibaka and Gasol, but I think Boucher's playing really well.
Isn't he? Wow.
Yeah, he's playing fantastic. Fred VanVleet's playing amazing. Kyle Lowry is Kyle Lowry, right? So I like their chances. I think they're a good solid team.
Okay, so I'm going to mark them today.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yes.
Milwaukee Bucks played the Nets last night. See the game?
The Brooklyn Nets?
Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, with James Harden?
Yeah. See that game? I only saw the replay. Like, the Nets won literally by like, right down.
Yeah. Right.
Well, what are your thoughts about the Nets? But,
they should win the championship given who they have. And if they don't, it's a bust. So yeah, if they don't win, then just like Shaq said, if they don't win, it's a bust, right?
Yeah. So you think they're better than the Lakers? This one?
Are the Nets better than Lakers?
Yeah.
I think so. I think they have a lot more firepower. They've got 3 superstars. I know the Lakers have 2 superstars, but I think with James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving, like they should win. It would probably be a close series, maybe 7 games, but I would probably still pick the Nets to barely beat over the Lakers.
Well, I'm going to mark your words for your prediction. See what happens here.
Right.
So for you guys who are watching, this is my good friend Ahsan. He's one of the top producing realtors in Toronto, top 10 in this company. Loves to help people create wealth in real estate. So if you get a chance to reach out to Ahsan, please do that. Ahsan, any final words or message you'd like to give watching real estate?
Just I know with this pandemic, there's been a lot of challenges for a lot of people. There is some light at the end of the tunnel, obviously. I think if you have a business, if you have an investment strategy, if you want to get into investments, whether it's real estate or even stocks, whatever it is, don't stop that process just because the world has stopped. Keep going. We don't stop our work. We keep going, keep fighting. And those people that will persevere in this time, I think will see success down the road.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Gordon.
Thank you, and everyone, thank you for watching. Until the next time, Gordon, have an amazing.
Thanks.